After the election, where them do. We still they wait for the change. All the promise when they make, it don't they be like saying a fake. Where the money, where the food. Cause everybody want improve. Since you come, no tears and pain. We don't tire to complain. I see the bad way you've been do. You don't tear Nigeria into two. 97% and 5%. You know been talk like president. They rule Nigeria with sentiment. And take your office to revenge. Oh yeah now, Oga Buhari, we dey beg you. Let Nigeria no go scatter for your head, yo. Yes, sir. After the election, where them do. We still dey wait to see the change, yo. Cause all the promise when they make, it don't they be like saying a fake, yo. Where the money, where the
now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun diary Politico, Maiyegun don't come, this one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, and in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun diary Politico, Maiyegun don't come, this one not they off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, person where they do evil, no one make person talk.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Maiyegun live, even though I'm doing the broadcast from a different location, but it just seems like something that can't wait. I feel like, we can do with it right now, right here. And that is the video that I saw on online, where the mullahs, especially from the same northern Nigeria, where they have told us that the north is bleeding. But I'll get to that. They were sure praying for Tinubu to be the president and all that. No joke. And I was like, okay, if the north says they wanted Tinubu, is that not selling points, or let me say a selling point kind of a thing that, it's the one who brought them, who supported them to bring Boko Haram in. So if they are now telling the rest of us that, well, if you don't like Tinubu, we are praying for him to be the president, it simply means we, the Yorubas, we can easily just dash them, Tinubu. It seems that they actually own it. Sorry if the quality of the video is somehow, I'm just improvising, by the way, which means I'm using some smaller devices, just using everything not like usual. So share the broadcast, invite your friends, and then tell them Maiyegun today However, this is the clip. Let me share.
اللهم نسألك أن تعين بولا أحمد تنبو على هذه الأمر يا رب العالمين ويكون رئيس نيجيريا بهذه القرن يا رب العالمين.
No be shere. So let me know before I even continue. Let me know what that sound or the picture looks like. If we can manage it, yes, I'll do this piece. But if it's so horrible, yeah, we can always, always postpone it. But whatever it feels like to you, please let me know. I'm going to check it on mine as well. I like that. We will manage it as long as you can hear me, and then maybe you can use smaller devices as well. Use a smaller device. It's going to come out sharper and clearer. So I'm trying to steal somebody's space right now. You know, I came to see someone, and I decided that by the time I get home, some of you will be in bed, right? Now, 2023 election is going to play, or let me say, the road, which starts from this 2022. The road to their 2023 charade is going to take a different dimension, which means there will be no any further pretense. All your prediction, all your expectations as their actions when it comes to this election year, they are going to unravel this year. But the most funny one is this: in Yoruba land, as we speak, where Tinubu comes from, most of those who are promoting Tinubu in Yoruba land, if you check them very well, most of them just tell you pretty much like try to blackmail you that since Tinubu is a Yoruba man, you as a Yoruba man, it is expected of you to just and now that all the endorsement that we have seen so far, they are coming from the people who told you that Sai Baba, Sai Buhari, whatever Buhari does is not wrong. Whatever APC, whatever calamity APC has brought upon the entire country, it doesn't really matter. Since this same set of people, right, are now endorsing Tinubu. But you see the blackmailing part, because the blackmailing part as a Yoruba man is the reason why I'm actually going to talk about this as usual. Before I get blackmailed, for example, when you see a video like this, where Northerners are showing mass movement for Tinubu presidency, and as Nigeria is currently structured, as their electoral system is currently structured, the one that they refused to, to amend in any way to suit the expectation of everyone in something you can at least call a free and fair election. So rigged system as Yorubas. So as it is currently set up. So the Northern Nigeria, who hold the highest share, Tinubu himself decided to lick their asses, deny us in time of our own agony, pretended, and that's one thing that continued to jot me that a day of time like this is going to come, is that Yorubas screamed at the top of our voices for the invasion of the Yoruba land. And this gang of those who are still going to come back to tell you that as a Yoruba man, Tinubu should automatically be an ideal person to you, right? Despite all that screaming and everything, Tinubu kept his sealed mouth. Meanwhile, the killings in northern Nigeria actually got the attention of Tinubu better. He's contributed a lot to them. He's donated to some of those disaster victims. And as we speak, it seems that he pays more when it comes to those who are championing their fraudulent 2023 election again. And as usual, it is starting from the north. And this time around, they call it tsunami, a tsunami of Tinubu's presidency. Some said he would never be one. I've been told on this program that he would never be one. He would never be president, forget it. When they are done with him, they will dump him and the rest of that. Well, some said that Buhari will never be president as well. But I'll show you that video again. So when I saw this, I know the religious angle that this year 2023 election is also going to go, especially since it is starting from the north. Watch it again.
اللهم نسألك أن تعيد مولاه تنبو على هذه الأمر يا رب العالمين ويكون لأسر نيجيريا بهذه القرن يا رب العالمين.
So in 2014, my ISA pandemic, the man that became Nigeria Minister of Communication right now, the one in charge of all your telecommunication, your communication generally, phone, text, and all that. In 2014, to appeal to the fanatics for the sake of election, which he belonged to, that was exactly what he was doing. But in his own, he wasn't doing it in a large gathering, Jumat prayer, whatever. All right. So he was doing it in his own mosque in Kaduna also. And he was praying then that God should please answer their prayer and give them Buhari. God, please answer. So people religiously felt like Buhari had to be the president. And if Buhari should be president, it is the will of Allah. And a few days ago, they said they have seen 2,500 mullahs, Muslim clerics, who are ready to start prayers for Tinubu's presidency. Some of you who confidently believe that, forget it, it's not going to happen. But it is the same card of what if Allah wants it? How can Allah want it except if the mullahs begin to tell you to pray to Allah? If Allah doesn't want him, he won't be president. Meanwhile, it all narrowed down to that religious brainwashing. Now, personally, I don't have any resources or enough capacity, right, to stop Tinubu's presidency. But some of us have the capacity to cut down those who are going to be caught up in the web of lies which brought us to this level in the first place. It is easy as we speak. Some of us know the political permutation that is still going to play out. And when they finally play out, some of those who are kind of carried away about the 2023 election and then the Tinubu's presidency, when the disappointment happens, some of our projections will then possibly come and make sense to them. So you possibly can't tell them not to follow Tinubu until they get to the point of that disappointment whatsoever. But I don't really have any other power other than to tell you that it is a two-way thing. Two-way thing in the sense that you have known what these guys belong to. You have seen what they are capable of offering. And this whole game that they are probably going to pop up or play up in the course of this 2023 game, right? Most part of it, blackmail, then religion. Now we are seeing that already. And as we know the northern part of Nigeria, it is probably going to be a jolly good ride. Just same way, some people are possibly going to start praying for Atiku. But that doesn't make us, talking about this doesn't make us unpatriotic. This is why I said it's a two-way thing. Number one, we know what the capacity of Tinubu and Gang, what they have done in their own political journey or sojourn in 22 years. The result of that is the Yoruba land we have now. So the second thing is that we know what will be the end result of the whole exercise. Now, getting emotionally drawn into it, which is obviously going to happen, and why some of us are never going to be emotionally drawn into it and would rather choose something else, is this. The northern Nigeria controls the electoral or the electoral register, right? And in Nigeria, those who control the power, they understand the importance of this so well. And since Nigeria is not I mean, it's not a fairly or fairly structured. It simply means the majority carry the vote, right? So up north, the only thing they have to offer us is the vote, the numbers in millions. Apart from that, absolute nothing. So we in Yoruba land, many of our brothers who are in the east as well, when you combine all the eligible voters from this part of Nigeria, west, and then the east and south, yeah, they are just 1/3 of the voting bloc from northern Nigeria. In fact, in the imbalance, unjust political, let's say electoral system in Nigeria, which always give birth to these charlatans every now and then, as the journey towards that is beginning as well. The electoral system already puts the southern Nigeria in a second-class position in the scheme of things in Nigeria. Now, this imbalance is what has created so much bad blood, created so much anger, angst, and disagreement. It has led to so many protests and bloodbath. People have been incarcerated, people have been killed, people have been exiled because of all this imbalance. Now, ordinarily, it would be easier if Nigeria had a system whereby you see these parts who have the, maybe I should let me break it down again. You have Yoruba land, you have the Igbo land, Biafra land, you have the other coastal region of Ijo, Ishekiri, and all that. Now, Nigeria then gave them representatives. So before you select your representatives, so the process of selecting them is not dictated by the people themselves. They were dictated and structured by the beneficiary of the system, those who are always opposed to that change. So you have southern Nigeria, which is the economic backbone of what you call Nigeria of today. But when it comes to making political decision or electoral decision, their decision doesn't change anything in the scheme of things in Nigeria. Therefore, to become the president of Nigeria, it is better for you to appeal more to northern Nigeria than you appeal to southern Nigeria, because in the long run, their vote is inconsequential, while their economic existence is considered very valuable. So this imbalanced scheme of things, or a sort of a weak, rigged system, then paved way for the likes of Tinubu and gang to be godfathers. Now, it would have made sense that, of course, you will need people to push such agenda that will create a balance enough that everybody will feel like you are involved, you are included. But Nigeria, as a system of a winner takes it all, which is state by state, federal, state, and local. So the likes of Tinubu and gang, they would rather appeal to northern Nigeria, because that is where the determinant number of votes comes from. And to appeal to northern Nigeria, you just need to follow the footsteps of their political leaders. You don't even go there and start making promises or attempting to change the pattern of how they govern them. The pattern of governance in northern Nigeria it's part of what contributed to the level of the decadence and destruction Nigeria has witnessed today, the backwardness, the underdevelopment, including terrorism that Nigeria has witnessed today. And it is the style of their leaders, the leadership that come from there. Yeah, they give no good, because the more insecure the place is, the richer they are likely going to become. It's ridiculous, a statement to make, but it is actually what it is. We have evidence that as the insecurity escalates there, yeah, the bank accounts of those who claim to be fighting for them continue to swell. So if you want to try to say the challenge of the North, if we can tackle the challenge of the North, maybe we can then easily be able to tackle the problem of the entire country, right? So you can't, because you have to follow the footsteps of their leaders. The footsteps of their leader is feudalist system, a system that is called Rankadede system. They handpick few people, selected people, to be given proper education and not to use them for the development of their people. They will use them to further manipulate their people. That's the system. And that system is alien to us in southern Nigeria. As bad as it is, you still expect political office holders to act responsibly enough and expect that there will be consequences of their actions. But the further we are deeper into Nigeria arrangement, the further the further down we have become, grounded we have become. Yeah. So the system of Alimajiri, the system of Bambiala, the system of Rankadede, these are alien systems to us, alien feelings or doings to us. But if you look at the way APC operates in southern Nigeria, the Bambiala system, the handout system, the all-riser, the praise and worship and all of that, where people have to say thank you God that finally they have constructed our road, the road on in front of our streets. Oh, finally they have now given us street lights after 40 years, where people have to be so grateful that health center is being repainted and few beds have been supplied. So if you look at the system of, if you look at the system of Tinubu from 1999, it is that same system, the system that gives you this idea of a great thing coming. We have this great idea that will lift people out of poverty, that will stop unemployment, that will reduce homelessness, that will create that will give protection to women and children, that will give all those things, ideas. Then you make people suffer for them. Make something that could be done in months, turn it into years. Then make people poorer, make them poor. And whenever election is coming, position yourself as their savior, because you have always been the one around trying to help them. That system of Almajiri system gradually crept into Yoruba land. It became almost part, well, it's now part of us. It's not only also. It seems to be like it is a maniac, it is a menace, it is a pandemic all over Nigeria. But it is a systemic weaponization of that poverty. So if you want power, all you have to do is what? Just follow the footsteps of those who impoverished in northern Nigeria and then the rest of Nigeria. Those who are so against restructuring of that Nigeria, where the wealth redistribution, where people can manage their own resources and hold their own leaders, accountable in their own different region of the country. They resist, and it is deliberate. So that system worked for Tinubu, and as we speak, it seems to be working for them in northern Nigeria too. And because we know what the end result will be, it's going to be poverty upon poverty. It's going to be hardship upon hardship. Everything else is going to be audio, just like everything you have known them for. And we have the right to let people know this, even though they know all this. We also have the right to remind them the danger of ignoring these signs, because it's not going to end in the same way. It's going to end the same way. The Bambiala that will make you an educated person to wake up in the morning and be praying that make that politician just bless you this week. May somebody just do something that will give you job. Where you are, you have been reduced to a miracle seeker. But primarily, for example, in Yoruba land, they told us that it is a good thing to train your child, through school. Give your children education, because even if you don't have money, if you don't have everything, make sure you do your best to give your children education. Because if you can give them that, they will figure out how they are going to live the rest of their lives. So our parents decided to give it all. They gave us education to the best of their capabilities. Then Nigeria unraveled, whereby graduates are now Okada riders, Keke Maruwa riders, conductors and bus drivers. Graduates, when something you could have possibly just decide to go for rider test or go for driving test. But when Nigeria finally says, no, you have to find a way out, Nigeria now conditions you to the point that it is Adura Walugba that they have finally built the boys' hostel, or they have finally built the guest hostel in the state university. After all these years, finally they have built it for us. We thank God. Let us be so grateful. And people like us know that this is systemic. Nothing is ever going to change. Nothing is ever going to be different. And I remember that when they make promises and they put people's lives on the line, when they don't fulfill those promises, people's lives are also still on the line. There are victims, and you can look around you today. Graduates, parents, some parents who struggled to send their children to different schools, get education, in hope that when they grow old, when they get older, they will be able to take care of themselves and possibly even take care of their parents. So many of us like that, some of us are still living with our parents at the age of 30, 35, 40 years. Some people, even in that Lagos state, that they will tell you, Ashiwaju ni, nothing, you are just an enemy, shut up your mouth and all of that. And the rest of them, even in that Lagos, you see many of them, they call them young landlords, right? They are young landlords. They are graduates who have no jobs. And some of them, since they have been jobless, they found a sort of a leisure in politics, something where they felt like, oh well, some of them feels like, well, I can influence the system. I'm educated, I'm not like them, that's why I'm in APC and the rest of that, only for them to come out worse than they say. But it is all systemic. Do you get what I mean now? So we know where it's going to end. We know what they have done to us. We can't continue to live in that denial. So that's why it is, I may not have the power, I may not have all the resources to stop them, but I can always raise the alarm because we know where it is going to end. They told you that they will give you 3 million jobs every year. When the Tinubu and gang, when they were campaigning for Buhari. Now, majority of them, they have not even apologized to you, the Yorubas, who lost your jobs, who lost your businesses. Some of you who lost your loved ones in the last 6 years of APC. Now, let me tell you this, if you can't really put it together, what I mean by this. When you have people who have the opportunity to give us the better and the best of the best deal as a Yoruba people. When I say best and the best deal, it starts from education, healthcare, infrastructures like road, electricity, and then enabling environments for businesses to create jobs that are well-paying jobs. When I say jobs that give you a living wage, the one that doesn't undermine your humanity and reduce your self-esteem as a human being, the one that doesn't reduce you to absolutely nothing. Now, for 22 years, They choose not to do that. The last 6 years of the last 6 years of the 22 years, they actually told you that they were going to, even if Nigeria was worse, they were going to do their best to make it better enough that some of you will probably have a job, have your own job to be proud of enough that at least it will justify why you think maybe they haven't done enough. Yeah, maybe Buhari didn't do enough, maybe APC didn't do enough, but they have done this, which impacted on you than what I know impacted negatively more on you. Some way that cuts you to size, reduced you to where, place you where they wanted you to be, a place where they can come back and offer you help and say, you know what, we have a solution now. Come here, we want to help you, like they're about to start doing now. For 22 years, I remember when they were talking about Lagos Master Plan. The same thing goes across the rest of Yoruba land. Because you see, I would never sit down here and comfortably blame all our problems on anybody. Because they were those who are there in the last 22 years. Nobody said they build 10 million houses in Yoruba land and the houses perish. It is not that they built, modern hospitals. I'm talking about real hospitals, big hospital enough that you can say 1,000 beds. You know what? Since democracy started, since Yorubas have been, Yorubas have always been the governors of Yoruba land. Yorubas have always been the rep of Yoruba land. Yorubas have always been the members of the State House of Assembly in Yoruba land. And they have always been the one passing your budget. They have always been the one borrowing money. The federal government of Nigeria just approved it for them. And the money comes back to your people, okay? So let's say in the last 22 years, it is not that they built hospitals. Yoruba land, they have the biggest hospitals you can talk about, or you can even like desire in any part of Nigeria. In fact, there are some states in Yoruba land where they have a singular hospital which has more than 2,000 beds. All these things are possible things that could have impacted in your lives, okay? Where you have a real working healthcare system, the one that won't turn you to a beggar, or the one that will not turn you to a poor man, that, one single health problem. So there are some people right now that one single health problem, all of their savings, people will start selling their properties, people will start selling their land, they will start selling their shares, all their bank savings will be gone. You get what I mean now? So for 22 years, Yorubas, just like others too, Yorubas are at the mercy of the Sisi Alagos, the tradomedical days, which are very good, even if those are the ones they genuinely promoted in the last 22 years of democracy. That alone probably would have created more than 100,000, 200,000 real job. I mean, but they didn't. It is still the same of the same. And when you say, why is it so? They will say, but you know that Nigeria is broke. You know that Nigeria is fighting war, terrorism. You know Nigeria needs to get money from elsewhere in order to make sure that we are fighting. So you are funding terrorism and you are wallowing in abject poverty. But to politicians, it can be a game on. We are doing our best. That's enough. To me as a Yoruba man, that type of conditioning is what I would never want to be blackmailed into agreeing to. Tinubu is the same yesterday, today and forever. And it's not just Tinubu. It is the entire team, the entire group of, manipulators, the entire team of opportunists. The people who are always concerned about Yoruba, about your jobs, about your children, about your this or that, whenever election is coming, because they can tell you again what they are going to do. But I can always remind you that they have nothing new that they are going to do or offer. And it's not just them. Look at the PDP too. Sometimes, well, maybe it is always better to continue to remind ourselves that whether PDP or APC, they are the same. In Yoruba land, when PDP were controlling some states in Yoruba land, yeah, it was the same. Yorubas were the governors. Yorubas were the senators. And when it was time for them to cross over and do their crossover and with the rest of that, we watched that in Yoruba land. So for that 22 years, their own contribution is also the poverty we have in Yoruba land. And as we speak, in order not to make it even like so too difficult for you, my proposition and all that is just to let you know why it is not worth it to either get blackmailed because you are a Yoruba man and it should be the turn of the Yoruba to be president, and then you look around you and they say, since you have no choice, Tinubu should be your choice, then you ignore all the red flags, right? And you get emotionally attached to that. You that want Yoruba nation, you that want Oduduwa Republic, but they know and have a way of appealing to your emotion. I know them very well. That is why sometimes when these things don't happen, when I talk about them, they just sound so much like they can never convince me, never. But the way they are tailoring it here, the emotional part of it is something that you have to be prepared for, indeed, if you don't want to get carried away with that, right? Because you see, in southern Nigeria, as disadvantaged electorally as southern Nigeria is right now, that you would expect that the politicians in southern Nigeria, the traditional rulers in southern Nigeria, the opinion makers of southern Nigeria, then those they call the think tanks of the Yoruba or southern Nigeria, if they couldn't see through their limitation that we are now at the mercy of the Fulani North and this power broker in northern Nigeria that we call the gatekeepers, all right? If they don't see that they are at their mercy yet, that they should also manage to demand that it is either this is renegotiated and everybody manage to conduct their own affair their own way, or it will be better we just have to break up the whole thing because you will know the end result. What do I mean by that? The PDP, who normally ran into trouble for not letting the northern Nigeria to complete Yaradua's tenure in PDP, and Goodluck Jonathan, despite all he did, despite all the projects he concentrated in northern Nigeria, the schools, the universities, the rural road, the electrification, the Almajiri schools, which are actually special schools that allow the northern children to study Al-Quran, and at the same time to study the Quran, and at the same time to also study the Western education so that they can function in the both world. So they will get to keep all their Islamic training and all of that. And they can also be able to interact with the rest of the world in the Western way, right? Jonathan did that too, right? And they never forgave him for that. They did that, never forgave him for that. So the same PDP, as we speak, championed mostly by the southern politicians, southern governors, southern PDP governors, right? They themselves, they have written themselves off. As we speak today, the effort of the likes of Governor of Rivers State, Wike, and the effort of the likes of Seyi Makinde in Oyo is that if PDP want to rescue Nigeria, PDP should listen to the PDP governors and the PDP politicians, senators, and the rest of them from northern Nigeria, who have considered that 8 years of Buhari is a waste and a missed opportunity, just like the 3 years of Yaradua. Now, you see this idea, this thought, right, is gaining momentum among them in northern Nigeria. And then you see these two rich states from southern Nigeria. Their governor, Wike, that I call him the Wike, somebody that in Yoruba land, we call the people like Wike Asheburuku Shere. But you know, Wike happened to be one of the best governors when it comes to infrastructural development at an alarming rate as required by the current state of Nigeria. Nigeria should be a construction site every now and then, where people are always out there constructing things that makes life even better, and in fact improve the means of doing business. So Wike is considered as one of those in that category. But Wike, who is also the governor of the second richest state in the entire Nigeria after Lagos, that's the River State. Wike, who generates enough to run his own affair, is appealing. Some are mobilizing for Tambuwa of Sokoto. Wike is mobilizing for Tambuwa, and because Wike, according to the intel, Wike will prefer Tambuwa than Atiku. Seyi Makinde, another brilliant southern governor, who has had at least a very good run so far when it comes to his policies and the way he's been implementing them. I know you are always biased, Maiyegun. You see how you are talking nice about Wike, to see how you are talking nice about Seyi Makinde. That's actually not the point I'm trying to make. When it comes to record, as terrible as Nigeria is, when you begin to pick up the governors one by one, right, and you check their track record, Seyi Makinde also happened to be one of the superstar governors who changed the fortune of your state. Yeah, you remember when he banned the NURTW in Ibadan? I know that one has its own scandal on the side, right? But you remember when they banned them? That eventually became a positive thing for the people of your state, whereby their internally generated revenue, almost doubled, I would say, in the first year that Seyi Makinde implemented, which now gave him more money to implement any of his program for his people, and in fact reduced his own borrow, not like the rest of the country. But you see, these two guys who are Southerners, they know, or they think they know Nigeria better enough that if this is about power, this is about how we are going to survive another 4 years. If we don't do something, don't let us think about anybody from anywhere. Forget about Nigerians who are shouting. This is not about Yoruba or not. The best way for us to get power and help our party, because majority of them who haven't crossed over to APC, indeed, it's either church rats that are stealing from here and there just to survive, or they just folded up and just feel like maybe one day it will be their turn. Now, election is coming. This is election year. Southern Southern celebrated governors, they want a northern president. This is another reason why their election should never be of anything of interest to you. So if we decide to talk based on those who feel like election can make a difference, let's pretend that, or pretend like those who believe that participating in this kind of arranged election is going to make any reasonable difference. Southern governors who have come under so much limitation, warning, threats on things they wanted to do to at least alleviate the suffering of their people, especially on insecurity and what have you. But as much as they have what it takes, they are not bold enough to say, me, Seyi Makinde, I'm governor, and I've got good stuff to sell to Nigerians. Let me talk to them, and then, you know, I will be the president. He knows he will never be that president. Everybody needs to go to northern Nigeria. And when they go to northern Nigeria, what they meant is that we don't feel like we have used our time. We don't feel like that. Buhari has wasted our time. He's wasted our opportunity, but we don't consider that as a wasted opportunity for northern Nigeria. It's a wasted opportunity for Nigeria. And the best way to convince the northerners to participate in the election, to vote for anybody, is to give them a northerner. So southern Nigeria is not there for Tinubu. And as we see, the southern, those that they call themselves the southern players, right? They are already looking up north. Those who told you that Fulanis are dangerous, Fulanis are this or that, they are going to have to give you reasons why you have to follow Atiku now. And they are already giving that reasons. The only thing that makes somebody like myself to always be kind of insistent, insistence is that people think we can just forget some things and pretend that they never happened. And then maybe once we move on, then just deal with the rest that comes after that. They will blackmail you, make you think it is the right thing to do. If you don't participate, if you don't join them, you are just an enemy. And they can then use the tribe to blackmail you. I'm a Yoruba man, so I'm used to that. I know what I'm talking about. But the bottom line is that if you look at the whole thing set up here, they are actually going to go up there to go and kiss the ring. Whoever get the kissing or get the blessing first is the one they have to push back to you and say, that's when they will come back to the southern Nigeria with confidence, say, you don't do, you don't set. Nobody can stop him now. Because southern Nigeria is already divided to the point that those who are in southern Nigeria, who should be fighting for southern Nigeria, even in your one Nigeria, they are pushing for another Fulani from the north. Let me give you names. Obasanjo, he personally wants this former Jigawa state governor, Sule Lamido. And according to Obasanjo, it can be from any political party. But somehow, it be like say everybody they've updated themselves about Obasanjo, so nobody gets intimidated about him anymore. He keeps pushing. Tambuwa, which is the governor of Sokoto State, is the body of Wike. To Wike, Tambuwa is the governor. I am a governor. If they pick Tambuwa, I can be deputy. Now, you as a southerner, right, that have seen enough of all this madness, and then you are like, okay, maybe for those of you waiting, maybe if the power now come back to southern Nigeria, maybe it will be a different thing. Though it won't. It will never be anything different. You are just going to learn how to live with that consequences then. And they say now only which is they call that nothing goes hard in Nigeria that doesn't go harder. It doesn't get people just learn how to adapt to how to live with it. Sorry, I missed something there. So for people like us who know, or who kind of knows what the end result will be, we rather not by any means blackmailed into agreeing with what you know will be the end result. So from southern Nigeria, it is going to be another Fulani. So we have Tambuwa, we have Atiku. One of the things they are trying to use against Atiku is that he is now old. He should be a godfather. He should support somebody. But from southern Nigeria, they are willing to be deputy. All of you can cry of marginalization. You can do that or what have you. They just want that power and they don't mind to be deputy. Now, for Tinubu himself, they need to make an impression that, we will follow Tinubu. And they're already showing that in northern Nigeria. But ask yourselves, since you have been following I'm gonna. Since you have been following the Nigerian political convo, have you ever seen Nigeria this divided before? Since you have been following political conversation and the rest of that. You haven't. Now, have you ever, for any reason, seen the voting pattern when the northerner is involved? Maybe you didn't pay attention, but it's always good that when people say, let us support them, so that some people have that impression, they feel like if you support them, so when the southerner become the president, it will just change everything. We'll just have Yoruba nation. We'll just have all this regionalism. See, it's so easy like that. And just same way they told you that all you needed was just to vote for ABC change. And you know what I mean? Everything you want will be handed over to you. Now that has failed. And some people are trying to encourage themselves to say, so Tinubu is ready to kiss the ring by denying us completely in Yoruba land or entire southern Nigeria. But are you going to blame him? Even those who pretended to be younger governors in opposition, they are also looking up north. And that's why they say, fear not. Some said, fear not. Some said, Baba, fear not, though. If you see the north, fear them or fear the north. They say, fear not. Baba, no, they follow that too. Because even the loud mouth, even those who pretend to have some level of reach, they are all dancing towards the north. So where does that leave people like us? Out of it. Because you end up knowing where this is going to end. And it's, there is nobody in southern Nigeria, nobody who is confident enough to say, I want to be the president and I'm going to talk to the rest of the country, and they are going to, they know it's never going to happen. You're just joking. They look at you, they just laugh. Issa Funtua, they were interviewing him someday, and it was like, they said, if Nigeria was to be a country, and the people in charge of Nigeria, you know what I mean, and people in charge of Nigeria, they are not selfish. They really care for that country. They are naturally, by the law of natural selection, Igbos should produce the president. Do you see how they are discussing it? Do you see how they are debating it? So they were asking Issa Funtua. Issa Funtua now said, the Igbos must belong if they want to produce presidents. And people were like, belong to what? Yeah, they must belong. Belong to what? To your court, where you all agree to continue to massacre Nigerians as long as you have the power and the wealth. How many of you remember that interview? They must belong. So since the law of natural selection won't play out, and it's not because they don't have the candidate for it, but it is because they will tell you the candidate won't be accepted in the north. So nobody wants to give it a shot. But at the same time, they want the Igbos, they want the Yoruba, they want everybody to remain in that same country. They don't want to talk about it. They won't talk about it. And it is the same process, it is the same process that continue to produce these characters. So why would I want to participate in something that is a charade? Looking into it alone, tells you what the end result will be. So if you are worried about, if you are concerned about the end result, which you should be concerned about the end result, why should you then want to dedicate all your energy to push for the people who don't give a damn about you? They are not confident enough to say, we want to lead our people from southern Nigeria, and that should be acceptable to the people of northern Nigeria without any condition. But they will tell you it is a democracy. What kind of democracy makes the economic region of a country that has less political influence? Take a look at America. You know, America practices the kind of federal system of government, and they practice it as well in their, in their electoral college, electoral system. A system whereby, they said the powerful, they will have to oppress the weak. Sorry, tell me, but how is the video, by the way? I hope you are still manageable. You can hear me clearly, can you? Let's see. I'm going to check my video. How is that? It's manageable, is it? Thank you. So you know what the end result is going to be. You know these characters too well. They're going to tell you they are not the same people you knew. They'll say, oh, no, they have changed. They have different things. You know all that. You know what? So to me, it's like, why should you want to waste your energy, everything, dedicate all of that, convincing people, threaten those you are going to threaten, maybe kill those you are going to kill, only to bring the people who are going to give you the same thing that you are then going to wait again and say, let us wait till 2027, because after 2023, now 2027 now. So there is nothing new. So this is why some of us feel like, me personally feel like, number one, I don't live in Nigeria. So apart from the fact that I could come back into Nigeria and vote, I don't live in Nigeria, so I don't vote. Now, look at the American electoral system, right? American electoral system means it recognizes the importance and the influence of every state that makes up the United States of America. They have 50 states. There are some states that are small, as Kolobo as Ekiti, not as small as Ekiti, but on map, smaller. And there are states like California, Barakata. There are states that are just medium, but massive. Population of these states changes every now and then, but they have the permanent registered voters. If you have your residents or residents in any part of these states. So California, who has the population of more than, I don't know the population of California, by the way, but let's put it this way. California with a population of about 40 million people. And then Maine, sorry, maybe that one will sound something because there's a state called Maine. Let me look for a state that is smaller. Let's use Sarapalin State. What's that Sarapalin State again? Hawaii. I say Hawaii. No. Give me one small state, Arkansas. You get the drift, huh? Let's say you have the Arkansas or Maryland. You have Maryland states now that has, which is not Maryland state, I think, yeah, Pennsylvania. Is that what you have your Maryland, right? Now, let's say you now have another state, popular state, or smaller state, Florida, and you put it on the side of California. And they say, oh, the population of Florida is just about 4 million. So 4 million to 40 million, that's massive. So somebody who feels like, and now, when you have 50 states in America, and then you have about 10, I don't know if they're up to 10, no, 10 Alaska, God bless you, Jared. That's where Sarah Palin come from, right? So 10 of those states out of the 50, they are the biggest with a massive population, right? Then another 20, they have the medium population. Then another third category, they have a smaller population. How do we make sure that the electoral decision of the people of 40 million in California does not decide or override the electoral decision of the people of Alaska, Vermont? Give me those names, those smaller ones. So you know what America did to create balance? Yeah, America, you know, it will be, if not, all the American presidential candidates, they will only be campaigning in just 10 states. It's enough. The rest is just for paparazzi. They won't waste their time there. Because all they need is what? Once you have 20 million votes in California, 20 million votes in New York, 10 million, you know, I'm just saying no. And you begin to pick all these 10 states. By the time you put all of them together, you've gotten everything you need. So you don't need the people of Ekiti. You don't need the people of Oshun. You don't need the people of Abia. You don't need the people of Enugu. You don't, because what you have the people of Borno. You have the people of Katsina. You have the people of Kaduna. You have the people of Kano. You have the people of Sokoto. And they brag about the imbalance that if Ekiti vote, if Oshun vote, if Abia vote, some will tell you all the vote from the 5 states in eastern Nigeria, now only Kano vote to cancel it. That's how rigged the system is, which means you don't really have a say in who becomes your president or who becomes what in your electoral system. And if you don't have that power, now the people will get that power. Now them they control the country. That is why when they pray, now them they share. When they are sharing money, when they are sharing your destiny, when they are sharing your inheritance, now prayer you go to pray because you have no power. Even if you want it differently. And listen, this issue of no power, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what we now said, that if the people in charge of Yoruba land, if they love Yoruba people, genuinely, I love Yoruba land, I love the Yoruba people, but I don't have the resources or power to actually do what I think should be done. That's why we said the people like Tinubu and co, yeah, who should understand this better if they are not benefiting from it. Should have kicked against that. You know what America did? So America now did this. They were like, for all of you, we won't become president in America, to know that every vote matter. Even if you win 20 million votes in California, now 20 electoral college vote, now you take all of that. So America now, their forefathers will get sense. The forefather, Nigeria no get forefather. Now regional, local champion, regional champions who became champion of their people who led to independence. There is no Nigeria forefathers. So those people had their own vision for what their own type of Nigeria is going to be. Are you with me? Ahmadu Bello, he had his own vision for the northerners. Azikiwe and this other guy, which will be the Okotiebo, the Minister of Finance then. Not just Okotiebo. The powerful people in politics of the First Republic, the Igbos, they had their vision. Their vision is for the Igbos. Though Zeke, some people they say that Zeke fuck up. Because now Zeke won't have their own vision of one Nigeria where everybody will exist together in peace and unity. And at the end of the day, some of my Igbo brothers, they don't like Zeke for that. But the vision was that the Igbo people will the Igbo people will be successful. Everybody will be successful in this Nigeria we're going to get into, and we are going to treat ourselves as equal. But we, the Yorubas, the idea then, the vision was Awolowo's vision that the Yorubas believed in. You see, all of these visions, none of them is the vision of forefathers for Nigeria of today. But you see, the visions of the forefathers of America, you know what they did? They were like, if we don't try to fix this, one day, the people of Alaska, they go buy gun. One day, the people of Vermont, the people of all these smaller states, once they realize that they don't have any contribution, they don't have any say in who becomes what, they will be alienated. They will start feeling like they're not part of it. And once you feel like you're not part of a system, the next thing you're going to ask for is to break away. And from the history of America, now people will run away from what they called the rule or the control of Europe here. People will feel like in Europe, some king, queen, and the rest of them, they are trying to lord it over them. Some of them break away from jail because they don't want to be under the authority of the European usual law. They moved to America. So now everybody be Saba de Saba on his own. So to bring them together, you have to build a system that is inclusive. Something that makes them, no matter how small they are relevant in what happened in your general election. If you want to keep a country, if you don't want to do that, I'm gonna forget you. Everybody go kill themselves, then go break America up into pieces. So what did they do? They were like, you see all these big states with so many people. Yeah. If any candidate going for president or a presidential office, right? If he win that state, we'll say, for example, California now, voters there 20 million. If any candidate, if any party win California, yeah, they are going to get 21 electoral college votes. So electoral college votes is the number of what do you call it, the collegiates from each state. So the collegiates, the people they call the collegiates are, you see, after all of you have voted for your candidate in your different states, then you have to go and wait and say, okay, if my candidate wins my state, I know automatically that he's going to get 10 electoral college votes. So the total number of electoral college votes is how many again? 500 and please help me, you American voters. Now, what they did then was that I'll use Nigeria context here, right? States like Kano, if states like okay, yeah, the total, the 270 is what they have to meet, isn't it? And then the total is how many? 302. God bless you. Yeah, 302. That's the total. Now, the 302 electoral college votes, yeah, is this. This is how that means. Let's say Kano have 4 million registered voters, according to them, verified. You see, those 4 million voters, if they now come out and let's say Atiku, I'm using this now just as a practical. They have Atiku, which is then they have Tinubu. So in Kano, Atiku scored 2 million votes. Tinubu scored 1.5 million votes. So on the vote part, the total number of votes Atiku got in Kano will be that 2 million. But for the electoral college, if they say Kano will be 10 electoral college votes because of the number of voters there. So that simply means Atiku has won 10 electoral college votes there. There are people who they call the electors, okay? That's another process of choosing them, okay? But their job is not to override your votes. Once all of you are voted in Kano, that means 10 electoral college votes there goes to that candidate that win the state. So if you now go to Lagos, and Tinubu, they say they have 5 million voters in Lagos, and Tinubu scored 4 million, and Atiku could score 1 million. So by the time you tally their votes, Tinubu's vote may go up, but the electoral college vote in Lagos may be 8. So on the tally table, Atiku has won 1 state, Tinubu has won 1 state. But on the electoral college, what have you? Atiku has gotten, Atiku has 10 electoral college votes. Tinubu has 8 electoral college votes. Now, the way they now spread that is this. You see these two candidates, they may be winning this big city, 20 electoral college votes, 27, 22, 15, and all of that. You know where those smaller states will become so crucial. It's so bad, yeah, in America, when they are doing their election. You see all these smaller states, most times, they always come so late. So that is where you are going to need Ekiti. Ekiti voters may just be 1 million voters or 800,000 voters. And Tinubu score 300,000, Atiku could score 400,000. And the electoral college vote there in Ekiti may be 7. Deliberately, it may be 7. So if you have shared the electoral college vote, you've won Ekiti, you have won Cross River, this one win Oyo, another one win Sokoto, and you see all these 10 million votes, 5 million votes, all these fake votes that come from refugee camp, they will become useless. Because number one, they won't have to put so much effort into, you know what I mean, into rigging election there, because it's not about the numbers of how many numbers of votes anymore. So if you go to Borno to go and rig election, Borno electoral college vote may just be 6. It may just be 11. Some people will willingly, they will give some space and they will focus in other places where they just want to drag those states. Once they get the electoral college vote there, they will back it up from elsewhere. So people in Ekiti, people in Abia, nobody will stand up and say some people are dirt in a cycle. They don't matter. Nobody will sit down and brag and say some people are their slaves. Nobody would look at you and say you don't count. But because Nigeria is a winner takes it all, which Nigeria don't get, for bearers. It is just where anything goes, anywhere where they face. Everybody just wait for your own turn. You get what I mean now? And then when the castle are now burst, do you get what I mean now? You have a place where they don't even know how to have a conversation about a nation. They are not building a nation in Nigeria. It is a winner takes it all. You will see politicians, they will say, if the Igbos want to be president, they need to belong. We cannot sell the candidacy of Igbo we can't sell a candidate of a Yoruba man in Igbo land, or we can't sell a candidate of Igbo man in Hausa land. We need to go and look for a Fulani that we need to go and look for a Muslim. We need to go and look for a Christian. We need to go and blah, 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 blah. And then you say, China nation will they build so. What kind of country are you building if you tell yourself the truth? So people like us know what the end game will be, and we choose to say, why don't you just say no? People can say no. And there's so many ways you can say no. Somebody like me would never dissipate my energy trying to convince you why election matters when I know there is nothing an election like an election. There's nothing like an election. It's just your regular ritual. The ritual you do that makes some of you feel like you have fulfilled all righteousness. May God just do the rest. I don't go and do my own vote. I don't vote for Tinubu and gang, or I don't go vote for this or that. But people like myself, I'm always like, why waste my energy on something that I know the end result? Nobody is coming to rescue anybody. That's one thing I keep telling people. Nobody is coming to rescue anyone. Now, not go rescue, not serve. Yeah. They don't build nation in Nigeria. They don't even know how to have a conversation about nation building. You get what I mean? They said they wanted to do electoral reform. And they said they wrote an electoral bill. They passed it into law. Electoral bill or electoral law that should help Nigeria to curb electoral malpractices. Yeah? But they said they won't sign it. When they asked Buhari, why won't you sign it? He said, I'm not going to sign it because I love Nigeria democracy and I don't want to ruin Nigeria democracy. What kind of Nigeria democracy that will say people who have Borno State who have 27 local government area or so, and you only have just 4 local government area working there. Only 4 local governments. 23 local government is now in control of the terrorists. Although lately, Nigerian military have been routing, like they have been really killing all these terrorists as they have claimed, even though we know somebody. But at least lately, they seems to be having upper hand and they are shooting and killing, and like they said, they are winning again. But election is coming. Election is coming. Borno with IDP camp, you see displaced people. They say when they, you know, they say when you get displaced and your property, you get displaced by terrorists, and you get your properties burnt and all of that. There's something they always have. It is the voter's card. They always have the voter's card. So the system is rigged. You can't change it. You can pretend to want to join them. Let's join them and change them. Of course. Now, so some of the people said they were joining them to change them. And they ended up being worse than them. You know what I mean now? Well, everything now by choice. For those who know, but some of us know what the end result will be. And that's why we said, why do you have to waste so much energy? Why do you have to subject yourself to that? And where's that my video? There's a video where Wiki was talking about how to rescue Nigeria from APC and from Buhari's hand. Yeah. And then I have another one where, even though we have mentioned everybody, we won't be president, we won't help you, we won't solve your problem. There's another one where I never mentioned, and that is our number 16. How many of you know number 16? After yours truly, after Buhari, number 15 in the scheme of things, in the high heaven, in the spiritual world. How many of, okay, let me show you.
Take it to the mountaintop. If you have never heard it before, I'm saying it to you this morning. In the scheme of things, as far as politics of Nigeria is concerned, President Muhammadu Buhari is number 15, and yours sincerely am number 16. I've never said that to you before. I never said that to you before. I make it plain this morning. I let you know it this morning. Nothing can change it. In the name of Jesus, he is number 15. I am number 60. To this end was I born, and for this purpose came I into the world. I prepared you for this for more than 30 years. That's why if he wants to run in 2019, I do not oppose. He's still number 15. It's when he steps out that I step in. His assignment is that of Moses to take Nigeria to River Jordan, but he can't cross it. It will take a Joshua to go to the other side and begin to distribute resources to the people of this nation.
Somebody said, you always like to criticize the pastor. Share this one now. Some people are laughing. Many of you are laughing watching it. You get what I mean? Some of you are laughing because it's so funny, isn't it? But some will tell you it's not funny. It's number 16. Some of you are not in the spirit. It is the joke on us. Do you get what I mean now? The confidence. Somebody said it is only in Nigeria that you will see people that will be confidently lying. You get what I mean now? Like people who are like confidently lying. I was okay. I won't say that. And that's what most of these religious bodies. That's what they do. People are there. educated people attend Lateran church of Pastor Tunde Bakari. Educated people, professionals, and the rest of them. But no offense, religion can always make you stupid. Religion don't let you think right. Do you know that? No offense, so because religion doesn't let you think logically. Because thinking logically is like you are trying to say you are smarter than God. And religion says, yeah, you can think to be smart, but don't ever think that you are smarter than God, because God is the smartest and the rest of that. So don't think you are smart. You are not smart. Shut up your mouth. You are not smart. Don't say you are smart. Religion makes you stop thinking logically. And that's why you saw people there. Like, it may not make sense to them, but in religious-wise, it doesn't have to make any sense to them. That's what he said. Buhari will take Nigerians to River Jordan, but they won't cross the River Jordan. Baba, or more, we drove to River Jordan for all Nigerians right now. Oh boy, he passed the road to Libya. The people where they pass desert go Libya. If to say that Jordan Nigerians they go for 2023, oh boy, see road to Jordan. But Tunde Bakari will now take you and you will cross the River Jordan. And I go back to Jordan. I don't know. So you can have an idea. So people sat there, they were listening. And yeah, you know, that's what religion does to you. But of course, people who are religious or people who pray for me on Maiyegun's diary, Politico, they are like, they pray for me and I'm religiously connected to them. I'm like, you know, very connected to them that way. But if the prayer point don't they change to something, I could just be like, say, mommy, that prayer point, it's exaggerated, mommy, that's the kind of person I am. Number 15 to number 16, River Jordan, at the crossing River Jordan, on top this Nigeria case. Or the other day, they said now 2,500 mullahs will pray for Tinubu to be president. On top this 2023 case. Maybe they are going to go and bring Saudi mullahs. They are going to go and bring the Indian Buddhist or the Indian temple. They are going to bring all of them come. That's why one of these pastors said recently, and he said that they should tell Oni of Ife to keep his sitting away this 2022 because it will cause trouble. People. And then lying to you confidently. And you are not expected to question it, because why do you want to be so logical? Why? Just stop thinking. Let God do it for you and all of that. So you would expect Pastor Bakari and so many other religious people who understand. That's another thing here. You see some of these religious bodies, especially the leaders, they understand the rot and the reason why Nigeria is where Nigeria is today. Why everybody is waiting for his own turn. There's a video. I don't know if many of you have seen that video. There's a video of Pastor Adeboye, and he was giving the New Year, you know, he's giving the New Year prediction, or what do they call it, prophecy for 2022. And for the first time, I was watching Baba, and I realized that, oh, more, Baba said, don't they take careful. Now, I don't know if many of you have seen that video. Baba was talking about 2022, and he said that there are some things he's not going to say. And then when he tells you something, he makes sure that he says them in parables, because that is, you can't say most of them directly. And he got to a point, Baba was like, storm they come. But you know what? I hear from God once in a while. I say, Baba, which one is, let me look for that video. I say, Baba, which one is you hear from God once in a while? You're supposed to be hearing from God all this while. So that, well, I don't know if you have seen that video. So everybody is trying to be careful now, because people are asking questions, because you expect them. They know. They know the damages that these criminals have done. But somehow, it is rob my back and rob your back system that they operate in Nigeria. Rub my back, I rub your back. Tell the people Allah is doing something for them. Allah is working for them. Holy Spirit is cooking something up for them. And anything, just give them some hope. Tell them to pray. Tell them, ask them, what, did they have any dream? Did they hear anything? Did they hear any voice? And things that will keep people down. Lies that makes them or get them distracted. Not telling them the truth. Because I think that is where they make their own money as well. So Pastor Tunde Bakari is going to be the number 16. He is your next president that some of you are not paying attention to. Okay. Right. So I'm looking for the audio. So everybody is trying to be careful before they will say something that won't happen, because we don't get the generation where they ask now. So Abashibi, you tell us something last year. Excuse me, ma. Excuse me. Shebi, you told us that God told you this and that last year. Election don't they come now, you want the Messiah again. So people are trying to be very careful, because people know they smile now. And that is why we continue to preach. We continue to ask. We continue to encourage that everyone who is opposed to a rotten system that has sworn to destroy our own citizens without any remorse, everyone who is standing up should continue to stand firm. When we make up the numbers, there will be a shift. There will be a change. And when I say change, I'm talking about against the system that has refused all entreaties for it to at least make it work for an average person in that country. It is not a nation. There is no structure. There is nothing that makes Nigeria a country or a nation. Nigeria is a country of many nations. And until these nations come together, talk and decide to go their separate ways or otherwise, this is what you are going to continue to witness, where politicians will come and lie to you that they have the magic wand. You know, the crazy thing is that the same people, now that part, they make me feel somehow most. Now the same people, the other day, Tinubu was in London, yeah, and you know his own medical record too, yeah. Atiku is also over 70 as well. Oh well, maybe not over, almost 72. But these are the characters you've known since 1999. How can anyone in their right mind, in their right sense, not asking these questions like, I mean, is Tinubu going to be in this world with you in another 30 years? You, as a 22 or 25 years old man, you probably still have a chance of living for another 30 years. Tinubu is already 80. Well, maybe almost 80. He said he's 69, right? But his daughter, Folashade Tinubu, is about 50. She's about 55 or something. So that would just be like Tinubu giving birth to her when Tinubu was about 14 years old or something. But you just don't know anyway. But if Tinubu is 69, had another 30 years, that would make Tinubu 99. Do you think, you know, the Tinubu that is going to plan down your future, that you want to give down your future to, or the Atiku or any of this rogue that you've known almost all your life? Some of you have known them all your lives. Me, I still get the opportunity of knowing Abiola. I had the opportunity of, in fact, seeing him. Oh, MKO, Abiola. I saw him. I was a kid. But some of you, these characters, when they say Fayoshe, when they say Saraki, when they say Dino, when they say Bokuwari, and the rest of them, they keep giving you their names. You've known them all your lives, and they are those ones who have the solution to your future. It doesn't work that way. So that is why somebody like myself and so many other people say, if people demand that they want something different and they mean it, they can get it. But that is up to them if they want anything different. So, but so far so good. Some people will tell you that they've not seen any reason for wanting anything different. Because according to them, it's like it's impossible to break away from these people. Like they don't want to as well. You need to talk to your brothers, you need to talk to your sisters. Election and the rest of them is waste of time. And I know that won't stop many of you from still having to vote for them. Because to some of you, in fact, your survival in 2023 lies on how many of them you are able to, you are able to collect money from. But Northern Nigeria, Northerners, praying for Tinubu to be president. That is a red flag. That is a red flag. It simply means it will just be what do you call the Buhari Pro Max? Buhari Pro Max is a different level of, oh man. See, I'll tell you why I'm saying this. I'm a Yoruba man. And every time I sit down to just think, like, man, if Yoruba land is well managed, if those who have had the opportunity of representing the Yoruba people in this project, Nigeria, if they have cared just a little bit for the Yoruba people, we could probably be doing so well economically and everything, infrastructurally and all that. It is not a rocket science. I mean, if they had our love at heart, when they talk about the poverty capital of the world, we share in the number in Yoruba land. When they talk about out of school children, we share the number in Yoruba land. When they talk about the insecurity that we are now sharing in Nigeria, we share a bit of that too. We get kidnapped, we pay ransom, we get sent over to the exile, we get sent to refugee camp in another country. We have seen it, and we have seen that, and we have done that too. Then I asked myself that the Lagos State and every one of those who paraded themselves, who, in fact, if you look at what they did and what they stole individually for the period they had the opportunity of, leading Yoruba land, apart from they came to still give Yoruba people substandard infrastructures, and for 22 years we are still pretty much like a war-torn area. And you're like 22 years, Lagos State with such enormous resources, and then Ogun State with the proximity and closeness to Lagos State. And in fact, the closeness of all the Yoruba states to themselves, to start with, did not encourage any one of them to at least build an economy that they can say, even within Nigeria, if you go to Yoruba land, they seem to be doing their things together. They have their own connecting rail line that starts from Osun, and it goes round in 2 hours back to Osun. It goes round and goes from Oyo to Lagos, from Lagos to Ogun, to Akure, to Ekiti, back to Osun. Take that circle around Yoruba land, and you will be so amazed. Because if you want to see the Yoruba land, just go on their metro train. For 22 years, there was no one in Yoruba land with such idea, with such belief that our people deserve such, when they won't even build road. When they will put katakata for road, they will put their grader on the road, grade part of the road, and then leave all the red earth on there, and then they will cut tape and say the road is under construction, and it can be under that construction for another 80 years. Yoruba people are those who are living in those places. So for 22 years, there was never a time that you can say, oh, there is this mass housing project, or this is a mass water project for the Yoruba people. Something that you can say, oh, we actually have the, what do you call it? We have the idea, a great idea of sharing our wealth, sharing our ideas, and creating multiple wealth. I remember when somebody told me, and he said, listen, oh, this is just me giving you another example of how much these criminals have failed us. This person was talking to me and he said that he has his own bias against the Igbos as a Yoruba man. And I was like, okay, tell me about it. What's that your bias, and what do you feel? It was like, I don't have the bias of saying, no, attack Igbos or do this or fight. But I'm just saying that they are like, they control everything. They are like everywhere in Lagos. You know, that's a common language of the Lagos Abobakus, if you have listened to some of them very well. And I remember telling some of you that these guys don't represent the Yorubas. They speak based on where their bread is, their bread is being buttered. Tinubu, who weaponized poverty in Yoruba land, in Lagos State, which started from Lagos State, weaponized poverty, created that bureau structure and the rest of that, also created something. It created the Yorubas, who have been so battered that they will blame every wrong thing in their life, every failure in their lives, and the life of their people. They will blame it on just anyone. They will blame it on everyone but themselves. And that person was telling me, said, they can look at Alaba market. Look at where do you normally sell parts in Lagos? Ladipo. Look at Ladipo. They controlled everywhere. There's no Yoruba there. There's no this and that. And I was like, this is what everybody always say. Why do you want to own their shops? Like, did you go to China or you go to wherever to go and buy all those spare parts, and then you open your shop at Ladipo, and then the other traders who are not Yorubas who are there, then they decided to fight you and then kick you out? I said, this is what we are talking about. It takes effort it takes not just effort, it takes effort, business acumen, as well as risk taking of an average Igbo man to put his savings, in fact, take loan, and just face China, even if it's never been to China before. And they will go there and they will say, if I go to China, I can get all these things cheaper. Which means if I bring them down to Nigeria en masse, I can sell them better and make more money. For him, that is a business. But if you have smart people in Yoruba land, you see all those things that they go China and go buy. I was answering this my brother who have this bias of the Igbos, we cannot go to Onitsha, we cannot own shop there. I was like, see, all of you will be saying the little place, the little the Lagos that they born you, and the village you go to for Ileya and every other thing is the little word you know. And the which means that some of you have never really lived. There's difference between traveling everywhere. You can say, oh, I've traveled to Africa. Lived outside your enclave in a way. So it's easy. And I'm like, you may have your own biases towards them, but you see, this excuse of their business, it's not a good excuse. If you have the Yorubas who have sense, the Yoruba political class who want to create an economic influence for the Yorubas in Yoruba land, yeah? Why not just, in fact, let me put this is what I told him. I said, you as a person, you are, you are an engineer. You told me, a mechanical engineer. And in fact, you know all these car parts, and they said yes. I said, now, imagine if the same criminals who are stealing your money in Yoruba land to buy properties abroad, who are stealing your money to build themselves mansions that they will never live in. Imagine if they just feel like, you see all these Igbo billionaires, these Igbo traders, They always go to China, go to Japan, go to this, go to that to go and manufacture things and that. What if we package these billions and we give these resources that allows a Yoruba man and a group of Yoruba engineers or technicians and what have you to manage and work in a factory, a multi-purpose factory that will save Obina a lot of money from going to China and stay right there in Yoruba land where those parts are being manufactured. Even though Obina would love this idea to be the idea of his own state governor in Igbo land, not having to travel down to Yoruba land to come and buy the spare parts, right? Obina would prefer to buy those same spare parts, produced in Onitsha if they have stable electricity, right? Instead of going to China. But me as a Yoruba man, and then you have people who are like, what should we do to create economic power for our people? What if all the spare parts in Nigeria that an Igbo man is going to go to China to import? What if 70% of them are produced and manufactured in Yoruba land by a Yoruba man who is in business with Igbo billionaires? What about that? Would you, as a person working in those factories, producing those parts, seeing them out there, seeing made in Oyo, made in Egba, made in Ondo, this spare crankshaft made in Ekiti, made by this, why didn't the Yorubas pull their resources together and say, you know what, let's make a Yoruba man manufacturer of all these parts and save all these Igbo traders the effort of going to China? But they can't do that when they don't even get electricity to power the government house. They have no electricity to power any pure water factory. So why would they, or how could they be able to alternate the business of Obina, make it easier for Obina to make more money while you also create more jobs for your own people? So if you are working in those factories, would you hate an Igbo man who is trading with your company, where you as a person works and feed your family, where you get proper wages, not like a stipend that makes you look like a beggar or makes you a beggar? That's an idea that somebody like me would rather use than go about and say, Igbo people they should go back to their home. They should go back. I said, you are saying that people should go back, Igbo people should go back to Igbo land, to go and develop Igbo land. But me and you, in Scotland. I said, where are you from, Papa? He said, he's from Ijebu. I'm Ijebu man. I said, you are an Ijebu man, a Yoruba man. You are living in Scotland. I said, do you know how many Scottish living in Ijebu right now? Or living in Ogun State as we speak right now? Do you know how many Scottish who are living there permanently, like me and you, living here? He said, Scottish people living in Odogbolo, Ijebu. What do they want to go do there? I said, but you are here. You are from Ijebu. You are in the UK. You are in Scotland. You have access to all the healthcare facilities, all this whole thing that makes us wish that we have the same thing replicated in our home in Nigeria. I said, how do you feel how would you feel when the Scottish people says all the Ijebu people should leave Scotland? Would you laugh? Would you smile? Will you beat your chest and say, well, I said, and he was like, but they can't say that now because we are not causing any trouble. I was like, you see, we are not causing any trouble. But initially, you told me the reason why the Igbos are not shouldn't be with us is because they want to dominate everywhere. And I gave you an example of something that could alternate that. Instead of becoming their enemies, instead of becoming their imaginary enemies, what if you become their business partners and then you create jobs, a better life and the rest of that, and everybody lives in peace? How about that? Why is anybody not thinking that? Why is everybody just, why is so many of them feeling like, until we dagger ourselves, until we cutlass ourselves, until we chase ourselves down to the river and the rest of that, which indeed are always counterproductive anyway. So I was giving him that example. Then he was like, I never thought it that way. But our people will never do that. I said, well, you will blame an Igbo man for owning a shop in Alaba or owning a shop somewhere. Because the politicians that deny you those opportunities, they are still there, and they are telling you when they have lost it all, yeah, they are telling you that to look for somebody to blame. And it's so common with them in Lagos. I said, look at the entire place. You have no drinking water in the entire Lagos state. There's no drinking or any running water, government drinking water in any part of Lagos state. None. Zilch. And I asked them, I said, is that because of the Igbos? Say, no, our politicians. I said, but that should be more concerning to you, shouldn't it? So I use those chances to tell people that a blame game on all of you is never going to help anyone. I know those who are keeping us down until we figure it out and we get them kicked out for whatever it's going to take, right? Until that happens, right, we are just going to have to be on our own. Because somebody like me won't participate in a fraudulent election, and I'm not going to encourage you to. But I'm going to talk about it all the time, as usual. That's why I'm called Maiyegun's Diary Politico, politics. That's what I talk about. And then how that affects you. Because your political decisions, they are very vital decisions. They always have consequences. It's as simple as that. You've seen what it has, what this has done to you. And then I'm saying, when some said, I said, Omoyele Sowore, do you believe there should be an election? He said, what election? Which election? There's no election. There's nothing that could make anybody say, maybe if we try it this way, it may come out differently. No, it's a rigged system. The people should be up. Sowore that you don't like, he continue to believe that now revolution will solve this whole thing. Until all of now, no say, move until you kick them and you chase them, enter bush, enter forest. We will all continue to complain. He said, what election? I don't believe in it too. And trust me, I don't run for any election, and I don't campaign for any election because I can't even vote in any of your election. Even if I can vote in any of your election, I would never have to risk my life because of all these criminals. And it is actually sad that so many people are currently at loss, and they say, okay, who should we vote for then? What should we do then? Are you not listening? It is a pure waste of time. If there's any energy in you, if there's any at all, look at all this imbalance, look at all this unfair structure and the rest of that. Those should be at the front burner. And you see all these politicians jumping up for election, this election, that, they know it. They know that if anything should alter that, if anything should happen before that election, they are done for. And they don't want to be done for. Then you don't know if you should go for the broke. And don't let us pretend that there are no people who want to take them on. We have people who want to take them on, but they just don't have the number yet. That's why we have to continue to speak out, continue to talk, tell you that every of your electoral decisions comes with consequences. That is my favorite line. Elections get consequences. And there's no way anyone should, for any reason, be blackmailed into, emotionally or whatever, blackmailed into agreeing with them. So we have people who want to take them on. We have a lot of group out there. They're not perfect. The system doesn't want them to be. The system continues to clamp on them. But they are there. They are always there. We can't look away. These groups are there for you to express your disagreement and displeasure. Omoyele Sowore has been so wonderfully active. But unfortunately, it just never really got the vibe. It doesn't get, it's not getting the buzz that comes with the seriousness of this whole thing. So if the Northerners, they pray for Buhari to be president, I mean, they pray for Tinubu to be president, and he be say, in the next couple of weeks, Tinubu will have to declare. And if Tinubu doesn't declare in the next couple of weeks, maybe Atiku will have to step in. That's what somebody said, Atiku will have to step in. But if you look at them too, it is like an hopeless situation, right? It's like an hopeless situation. the PDP. Wike, where is that video again? Let me see. Where Wike is talking about saving you. Let me see that.
God will not forgive PDP. If PDP does not rescue this country, God will not forgive PDP. So PDP have everything that goes for it now to make sure that will rescue this country. When these elders were having a problem, somebody, God directed somebody to lead them to rescue these elders. And that was Moses. Now, Nigeria has a problem. And the only way Nigeria can be rescued now is that political party called PDP. And if they do not carry out this function to rescue Nigeria, God will not be happy with the party called PDP. And all of us who are members of PDP, God will not be happy. Because there cannot be a political party if there are no human beings. So we must do everything we can to put our party together, to unite our party. Nigerians are waiting.
Are you waiting for them? Now that is the GPT. Nigerians are waiting. Many of you are waiting truly. Sincerely, some of you are waiting that at least, Maiyegun, people have to, you know me, people talk to me a lot. People tell me things. People are like, see, Maiyegun, I watched your last video. You know, when people disagree with me, sometimes like they will come back and be like, Maiyegun, I watched your last video, man. I disagree with that and the rest of it. So, and then there's some, you know, I still think, like, oh, yeah, I'm with you. Go on, I'm with you. Some of you are still hoping that PDP will come to rescue you, right? But the PDP that is coming is going to actually get you to get used to this Fulani that some of you have managed to endure to this point. Some believe that PDP managed Nigeria better, even though they were so corrupt. No, PDP didn't manage Nigeria better. What PDP did is that PDP did not touch that vote line. The vote line is, don't ever confidently or publicly, right, put one ethnic nationality over another. If you try to get your ethnic or tribal madness into political power and you show it, Nigerians would be triggered, and that may be a journey of no return. But Buhari did it. Buhari made everybody realize that, boy, if you know your level, you come here, you be Yoruba. Which Yoruba? Let's see. But I say your own Yoruba, not be original self. So, but anyway, you be third class. You say your own Yoruba original. You know Tinubu you should be original. Now your own be second class citizen. You be what? You be Igbo. No, you be Biafra. No. So everybody now knows their position. Okay? Buhari has made everybody feel like, so is it because it is the turn of the Fulanis? That's why they think they can do whatever they want. No wahala. When it is our own turn too, we will show them, right? Now, because all of now they talk that one, the Fulanis are now so scared to leave power. They're now saying, let's say Buhari time now waste, and the rest of that. So Buhari has shown us that, oh boy, no good, now just hold your side, hold your own people. Now your own people be your own people. If you do, the boy is good. But that's actually a wish anyway. Because you see all those your Nigerian politicians, your Yoruba politicians, the Igbo politicians, they are ready to do the mumu is good for every one of them in northern Nigeria if they are going to give them power. That puts us in a very terrible state. It puts us in danger. And giving them election or validating their election for that purpose or hoping on them it's like hoping that the train will hit you, but you're not going to die. You're just going to be like a spirit, and the train will hit you, and then you're just going to pass through the train, and then your life will continue like that. That's exactly what some of you, a train wreck is what the PDP and the rest of them are. I hope that to get to a point whereby some of you will actually have, you get it clearer, will find a closure, will find, you know, a sort of a stability, and then maybe we can build on that synergy enough that we can challenge them. That's the one I actually want to see. Thank you so much, Maltek, Abiola. Somebody just gave me 200 naira from Nigeria. And thanks so much for that super chat. Maltek. I wish I'm at home right now when I can take your calls, but I'm not home. So I'm thinking I should round up and let my friend sleep, or I should continue to talk to you since I'm driving, and I can always get home anytime I want to. Okay, so I'm trying to weigh the option: continue talking or start taking your questions, and then what have you for another few minutes before we go, or call it a night. I'm thinking. Don't worry, don't mind me. Thank you so much there, Leith Lochi, my brother. Igbos are the only major power in ancient and modern Nigeria that never invaded other people nor sought to conquer them. How then are they domineering? I've explained to you, it's just the handiwork of the lazy mind. People who want to blame everybody for their misfortune but themselves. And these people are mostly the ones who believe that Tinubu is coming to rescue them from whatever I've told you that the people of Yoruba land have been subjected to because of the because of the wrong arrangement that we have with Nigeria. If you get what I mean? So people who blame others. So I've told you as well that you know. Oh, you have no choice. You have no idea. You know, this is Temple of Truth, right? And in the Temple of Truth, everybody wants the chief priest to be all right. All right. So even if now 100 naira, if now I've had I remember one princess would give me 10,000. You know, from Nigeria. That's to tell you that you can use the super chat anywhere, and you can support any of your, you know, any of your broadcast. No. Should I use any of your vloggers on social media, especially on YouTube? You can support them. So all of you who have bloggers from Nigeria, who gives you content that discuss issues that you are so passionate about, you are concerned about, you want elaborated conversation on, so that you too can get a way of you know, helping your decisions when it comes to all these political choices and all that. So support them. You can give them 200 naira, 500 naira, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million. In Nigeria, they encourage them. So when my friends do this, and the Temple of Truth is called encouraging my favorite vlogger. So thank you, Maltek, for that. Maltek is not just a super chat user. He is also a member of Maiyegun's Diary Politico on YouTube. So what I'm going to do is that I have managed to tell you tonight that those who are praying for Tinubu's presidency, you're going to see more of them, and there's nothing we can do about it. We're just going to tell you that as sweet, as nice as they might sound to you, and by the time they are done with you, it is going to be the same thing. So if there's any energy to put together, the energy should be about why or Benny. Why do you want to be part of any fraudulent election? Why don't you think we should get together and get stop these criminals from this type of arranged election? If we insist that we don't want it, I'm talking about when people say we don't want it. Do you get what I mean now? And they follow that up with not just the word, but with action and all that. It is possible that you can make a change into how they approach it this time around. But if we all give up and feel like, there's nothing anybody can do, Jari, they just have to do their own thing, and then we wait. I have my friends who told me that, Maiyegun, we We'll do our own. We'll continue telling them. We'll continue to tell them how this is going to end. And when everything finally comes crashing, right, we should also be ready to also welcome them by not doing "I told you so." Shall I not tell you? Should I tell you? I told you so now. And the rest of it, so it won't be like that. Okay, we should be ready to what? To integrate them into what we said is what everybody should do. Should do if we want to save ourselves and the generation coming after us from the same shackles of this enslavement holding us. And they say, "But we are not slaves." I said, no. You see, that's the problem. When they say that Nigerians are under the slavery, the yoke of slavery, the slavery of the political criminals in charge of that place, right? We are not talking about physical slavery. We are not talking about chains. We are talking about psychological enslavement. When they devalue your naira, right? They have devalued you, right? When they take your when they take your financial capacity, or let me say, when they take your spending power, which is what devaluation of your currency is in the first place anyway, and then you have inflation that is at double, or so that is at triple digit or so, biting other, unemployment, biting other, and every other thing that you know what I mean now, every other thing that gets directly to you, right? So these are the direct, what do you call it? Let me put it this way. These are the effects of what you say, the decision when you say, "Oh, I'll make election have consequences and the rest of that," right? Or when you say doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result. That's exactly what it means. So why waste time? But some said, "Maiyegun, you can't tell them. You are going to make many people see reason why it's not worth it." But at the same time, Maiyegun, you just have to let people experience it. You see, if people did not experience the APC of 2015, so many people will become so popular today, telling Nigerians that it could have been the best. Do you get what I mean now? That it would have, that APC, Buhari, they would have been the best if they had won there and if they had won the election of 2015. So Maiyegun, sometimes we just accept, but election year, 4-year cycle of election, that's like 4 years of your life. Just use that to gamble. Yeah, just gamble with the 4 years of your life. Like, gamble with that. Let's see if they are going to do it. Let's see how they are going to do it. Thank you so much, Christian Akwaku, my brother. Thank you for your super chats. And then there is also Adeyinka Alabi. God bless you. That's another super sticker there from the veterans of Maiyegun's Diary Politico. So it all comes to one thing: validating it for them, which some people like to do. They believe that if we do that, maybe. So 4 years is a long time in somebody's life. 4 years. Democracy in Nigeria started in 1999. Demonstration of grace is, we call it. Yeah. 22 years. 4 years, 4 years, 4 years, 4 years, 4 years. 4 times that's 20, then 20 to 24 years. So by 2023, it's going to be like a democracy in Nigeria is going to be how many years? 22 years. Am I even right? 2009, 2019, then 2022. So 24 years. There are 24 years young men and women out there. You know them. 24 years old. So somebody like me just feel like, 4 years of your life to gamble, to see if Tinubu will deliver or not. Just the same way some of you gambled to see if Buhari would deliver, and you did it again. The people who vote for Buhari twice, they are now championing for Tinubu, and some of you are shouting swagger, swagger. She iya okensu yini. Una no dey tire. Poverty no dey tire you. Suffering no dey tire you. Suffering, hardship no dey tire you. complain, want, lack, no they tire you. So why would you want to gamble 4 years? Well, again, just like my brother would say, Baba, why you they drink Panadol or they drink paracetamol for another person's headache? I said, if this whole thing is about their headache, I wouldn't even have bothered, like, oh, that's not their own headache. But have you noticed that the worse Nigeria gets, the worse that Nigeria becomes, right? The tougher it becomes for those of you who even live abroad. Now you are more into having to help more people. As Nigeria sinks more into poverty, as the economy sinks and crashes more, so many of us have to take responsibility of people that used to take care of themselves before. So now Nigeria, they enter debt. Now we they pay. Have you not noticed? Nigeria is in debt. Now the people where they abroad, most of us, they pay. They say, you see, these days you see something like, oh, we are starting, we are going to do giveaway, just to help people. As Nigeria gets worse, as things get harder, those of you who have something to live on, those of you who have something I mean, something you call yours, right? You have to part with them most of the time now. So which means, now them they vote criminals. Now we they pay the bill. Somebody is asking me, are you serious? Are you serious? Me, I'm asking you, are you serious for asking me if I'm serious? Are you new? That Nigerians have thrown away shame. Bank account number of people, bank card, bank number, bank account number, name, account number, name, account name, and the rest of that. On social media, you will see them in their millions there. Grown up, grown up people who used to have their own life and responsibility. They were living it before Buhari happened to them. Today, they can no longer live and survive on that. And then I say 4 years. Why would you want to sacrifice another 4 years of that? My friend, there's nothing we can do about it. We just leave it that way. And I'm like, why would you want to say there's nothing you can do? Thank you so much, Vicky, for that super chat as well. And here we go. Prayer Docent, thank you so much for your super sticker. He said that we didn't even know that you are on the road. Oh, deserve well done. Ojere Aburowa Atata. Thank you so much, ma. Prayer Docent. Those are my people. And the people where they take care of Maiyegun without all. Like Maiyegun, please do this. Just do this all the time. I enjoy listening to you. I think it's because I always make you look chatty. You know, like chatty that you can just sit down there and be like, oh, you know. I've not been cracking my jokes at this night, but again, it's a serious stuff because consequences of elections get consequences. You know what I mean? There's always going to be consequences. And then we who have always been, I've been that victim, okay? That's why I'm pretty much like, if people can avoid it, if people understand the gravity of their decision, of ruling people out that these guys are of no, they are of no benefit or of no use to you. It shouldn't be yours to defend them, to root for them, to do anything at all in their defense when you can have an alternative to it, to them. So there's consequences after elections, and in all honesty, my people, in all honesty, if it's suffering, don't tire you. There's nothing wrong in asking for or saying no. Okay, so if you go out there now, you see them. Please, I need urgent 2K. Please, I need. Can you please help me? I have not I've not had anything to eat for the past 2 days. My family are struggling. Give me 1K. Give me that. And 60 years ago, these are people who possibly were able to manage and do something with their lives. The value of your money has reduced. The inflation in your country has made it difficult for you to even feed, because even if you have the money, they have become so much like almost nothing now. And that is something that some of you should consider when you look at the people who made that happen. Who are those who brought that upon you? They have names and they're out again, offering themselves as those who want to help you. So you can stop all of that. There's nothing pointing to the fact that they are going to be of help. I'm a Yoruba man, and I want to see people say, oh, you know what? We are going to do our own resistance enough that first, we shouldn't be taking the campaigns of these people in our area. Let's ensure that not that they are just, even though they have their members that are going to vote for them, let's just make sure that they don't just experience voters apathy. They also experience a campaign apathy. Campaign apathy is that even when they share their money, when they share this or that, people won't still show up in their nonsense gathering. So where they are going to lie to them. So there's so many ways you can stage this. There's so many ways you can tell them that this is a rigged system and it's a waste of time. We deserve something better, and yet you will get something better. Sawole Falodun, thank you so much for your super sticker. And somebody, yeah, General, Happy New Year. It's like some people are giving me New Year sticker, like Maiyegun, Happy New Year. Take your New Year money. So, this month is also my birthday. I'm not saying that you know, you have to give me money for my birthday or you have to buy me this or that. But I just want to say that the last person, the person who gave me 5,000, no, before even that, the person who gave me 5,000 naira on my birthday, called me just 2 days after that, and he said, Maiyegun, I just won a contract of 100 million. So, wow, maybe it is because of my birthday. The person who called me on my 34th birthday, who gave me, who gave me 2,000 pounds, a lot of money. He called me just 2 days after that as well. And, you know, he got the promotion at work, a promotion that will end, no, that's not so that they do. You see now, somebody told me yesterday and he said, Maiyegun, you don't know that you are so good that you can be a pastor. If you are in Nigeria, you have people with a day, you're going to go to your church and they'll be listening to you. Because you can, if you choose to lie to people and you look at them straight, you know, straight face, lie to people, you lie to them. I just spoke to God now. Now, his number that ended with 081, that's the one with that line, and that line at the call, the one with the conference room forever. I just spoke to God now. And some people will be like, hey, I trust this Maiyegun. So I'm just joking anyway. So yeah, my birthday is this month, and it's going to be on the 30th of January. Every 30th of January is my birthday. So to every one of you, thank you very much as you have that in your mind. So, right, elections have consequences. And the first one we experience is the one we are still dealing with. Our education system in Yoruba land hasn't improved. And we can't blame the Fulanis for that, okay? Or let me say, you can't blame the Fulanis completely for that, or blame the federal government for that. Somehow I prefer to call the federal government of Nigeria Fulani government of Nigeria, okay? So we can't blame them completely if those who speak our language, those who speak, you know, those who are supposed to speak for us, if they are indeed speaking for us, okay? Nobody is going to cheat us if those who are supposed to fight for us are indeed fighting for us. It's so obvious that the characters who are going to tell you or sell the trade of Yoruba man for president or this or that for president, they are going to be the characters that you know. They are the same characters who told your brothers and sisters 6 years ago when they were still in, when some of them are still in university or colleges or whatever. They told them that they need to fair Buhari. They need to fair Buhari. They need to march for Buhari. If they want their future to be determined, they need to do this, they need to do that. Some of you encouraged them. You told them, see, I'm talking to you now because, you see, the demography of my viewers, right, cut across between the highest of my viewers are people between the ages of 35 and 65. So this demography is demography that have people they care for, they cater for. This is also the demography that feels the brunt of what Nigeria has become more. They are watching me right now. They will tell you, these are the people in their 50s, in their 60s, right? who once worked so well, so hard, and they care so much about future. So they will easily tell you as a young person, do you care about your future? If you care about your future, you better go and support Buhari. If you care about your future, you better go and vote for APC. They're going to create jobs and the rest of them. They're going to do this or that and that. Now, the people, the characters that you trusted then that will make the life and the future of these young people better. Now, they have stolen those future. They've stolen their inheritance and all that. Okay? So it will be so hard. It will be so bad for any of you to comfortably, right, mislead them again, because look around you. They are now jobless. Some of you are now having to take responsibility on them. Some of you are parents on your own. Your children are graduates. Some of you are actually looking for, now, because Nigeria, it's Buhari and gang and Tinubu and gang, they have failed you. They didn't just fail you. They shattered you, especially for those of you who believed in them back then, right? They shattered you, right? So the same Tinubu, who is now coming back to say, okay, I'm going to have a solution for that. You as a person, tell yourself this truth, okay? Many of you are now responsible for the upkeep and the living of these young people you misled then. Some of you have repented, but the consequences of what you did is still affecting the rest of the people today. And now some of you are working so much on how to make sure that your children, they japa. Some of you know that the Yoruba, the Nigerian elite, they are raising money, they are making, doing everything to see that their children probably just have to get japa and leave Nigeria. And these are the people that were 6 years ago, they were saying that many of you living outside Nigeria, you are going to be begging to come back to Nigeria. Even when you will be begging to come and take Nigerian visa. So the people who gave those advices then, today, they've swallowed it because Buhari has disappointed all of them. But it will be so sad if you still find the category, that same category of people encouraging young people for Tinubu. Have you not seen him? Have you not seen Tinubu, for goodness sake? Why would you wish that on any young people as an elderly person or what have you? And you as a young person, why would you wish this kind of system on yourself? Why is it so hard for you to distance yourself from this madness? Why do you think it's hard? It is hard because number one, you are conditioned to see it that way. Number two, you are conditioned to believe that you can't think rationally, you can't think outside the box, you can't do it on your own. Number three is that they want you to believe that even if you think you can think it, right, until they feel like you deserve it, you can't get it. Now, all this whole thing are the limitation or limited barriers placed placed there ahead of you or in front of you. But some of you are already like succumbing. About there's nothing we can do, Jari. About there's this or that. I'm like, okay, if there's nothing you can do, maybe suffer no they tire you. So if suffer no they tire you, who am I? But you sort of see how somebody that should go and spend time to take care of himself. I mean, come on. Have you not suffered enough in the hand of these septuagenarians, octogenarians, these old, haggard criminals who uses a football age, who believes that they probably will never go old or grow old? Why should anybody put their destiny in their hand? Why should you want to fight anybody to defend them? Why? This is why. Because you are conditioned to be like that. But you can uncondition yourself if you want to uncondition yourself. But the thing is, how many of them actually doesn't want to be in the position or in the shoes of the criminals who brought this upon them? How many? Maybe few. You know what? I'm going to go let every one of you go to bed, okay? It's so late that some of us are still going to work tomorrow. Work don't start. New Year is here. New Year is over. January don't count. And to some of you, who thought that January is a long time away, and you probably told yourself, I'm going to take care of it in January. Today is 4th of January, okay? It's already here. And just same way, I'm going to spend a lot of my time talking about topics like this. How the actions of the criminals that are going to, how the criminals are going to come by and offer you help, offer you solution, offer you better life. The same thing they stole from you for the past 3.5 years, coming back to offer them back to you. And me reminding you that some of you will tell me we know and the rest of that. So I will spend most of my time more on that in these coming days, weeks, and the month ahead. And then I will continue to give our support to everybody who is standing up for the freedom fighters, for the self-determination fighters, and every one of them out there. We will continue to give our support to them as long as we keep it civil, we keep it respectful, and we keep it very much consistent and active. We'll do our best in that part. But revolution of the mind, a revolution of the mind. That is some very powerful stuff that I think, if it's going to be my area of specialty, I will work more on that. Let me be the one that keeps to be that voice that's speaking in your head, that voice that continues to probably answer some of your curiosity when it comes to the political permutation and political, hierarchy of Nigeria. Let me continue to be that mind that continue to tell you that if you don't support the fraudulent rigged election, and you join those who demand for a constitutional change and indeed a referendum, if you continue to, align to that and in the way, yeah. Thank you. So yeah, thank you so much for your time tonight. So far, so good. All right. Sorry, I keep picking up something there. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. I will continue to spend my time doing this until we have enough number of people who can actually make a difference. Something some people don't like. But what can I do? I can't help you. If we all need to help ourselves to make this happen. But again, thank you so much for your time. I actually wished I could take calls earlier, right? But I'm not going to be able to. But tomorrow, when I'm broadcasting from home, I will probably be taking calls. It's been a while. So thank you so much to every one of you who took your time to stay with me till night, till this time. And at the same time, thanks so much to every one of you who actually make it rain on the super chat part of this chat tonight. And to every one of you who actually comment, share, and the rest of that here, thank you. Please like that video before you go. Share it if you haven't yet. Okay, sometimes you come in late. And if you are just joining, just move it back and then watch from the beginning again. It's a strange place, quite so different. But again, I hope the camera was good enough on your device, enough, and the voice is also good enough on your device. I'm going to see you tomorrow, or should I say, I'll see you again when I see you. Like that video, share it, and you have a good night. Bye-bye.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Prẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀